Hello everybody, hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Connor here. We're back with the Room Mill. If you want some bonus content, head on over to the Patreon, as I always say. But there's some more additional content, not just the Room Mill, on yesterday's show as well, discussing Patrick Bamford's future at Leeds United. A really interesting discussion and debate, which was really festering in the comment section as well. Interesting to read. I read all of your guys' comments. Head on over there, watch the video, let me know exactly what you think on Patrick Bamford's future at Leeds United. The Whites face the red side of Manchester this afternoon in Oslo in a pre-season friendly, which is probably going to be a tough watch, but it could be the debut of someone like Mason Mount. I think Leeds United players featuring will probably be Sinistera, maybe Perkins, JB, players of that ilk. And yeah, never look forward to a Leeds United Manchester United game nowadays, but it is what it is. So yeah, tune in for that one, and it's great that the Oslo Leeds United fans, the Norwegian Leeds United fans, have got something to cheer about over there. But Leeds don't really have much to cheer about when it comes to incomings. We're going to get on to some rumours. Some outgoings. Christensen looks to have finalised his move to Roma on loan. Whatever, is what it is. Good to see him out the door. I don't think there'd have been any benefit to him staying at Leeds United. He seemed very chipper in the training video the other day, and maybe that's because he knew that he was signed, sealed, and delivered with Roma. Obviously, we saw another Leeds United centre-back leave for Roma the other day on loan again, which obviously was Diego Llorente. So hopefully that will turn into a permanent at the end of the season. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Dan James and Helder Costa. Dan James being the thumbnail of a YouTube video the other day, which was titled Inside Leeds United Training, which is obviously the pre-season training before the pre-season amble, I should say, before the Manchester United game. So it's fascinating how they made him the thumbnail, the picture on the thumbnail. Maybe they're going to feature him a little bit more. And maybe he's going to play a little bit of a part this season, and maybe Leeds are not willing to sell him. Who knows? So the big news today comes from Fabrizio Romano, who says, exclusive, Rodrigo Moreno leaves Leeds United and joins Qatari side Al Ryan. Done deal, and here we go. Medical ongoing for Rodrigo, waiting to complete the documents later today. And we've not been told a fee. You probably speculate that it was going to be 3 to 3.5 million. 28 goals in 98 games for Leeds United. A record which is okay. 1 in 4, 1 in 5 goals. £30 million was Leeds' record signing at the time. I don't think it's massively worked. I don't think he was the profile we needed. It was another Victor Orta signing where he just saw a Hollywood signing when there was one on his doorstep. We all knew who that was at the time. He chose to ignore Ollie Watkins and went for Rodrigo. Villa ended up getting Watkins, and that's probably a better signing. Rodrigo's been decent this season for Leeds and actually kept us relevant for a massive part of it with his, I believe it was 14 goals. So, yeah, he deserves that move. It's going to be interesting to see his development now with the Spanish squad. With the Qatari side, he's probably going to go over there and secure his family for the rest of his life with the sort of money that's available out there in those areas of the world. But I thought he'd have maybe gone to Spain, something like that, and got a decent move out there. There was a lot of speculation with clubs linking him. I think Sevilla were heavily linked with Rodrigo, but obviously they're facing a lot of financial problems themselves at this moment in time. So it's going to be interesting to see how he works with the Spanish national side, because I can't imagine that standard is going to fit him in good stead, really. But yeah, Rodrigo, I'm a fan of his last season. I'm a fan of his passion, but I just don't ever think that it was going to work at Leeds United. To be quite honest with you, I don't think it was ever a goer. So yeah, it looks like he's going, and Leeds are weighing up the opportunity of, I mentioned yesterday, of looking at a replacement for Patrick Bamford, and once again, Yusuf Poulsen is on the rumour mill today. Apparently Leeds United are weighing up their options to replace Patrick Bamford, and Yusuf Poulsen is a definite option, and that's according to the Mail and the Mirror this morning as well. So yeah, I don't really know how that's going to play itself out, to be honest with you. And I think it's just getting to that point in the season now where I'm looking at Maresca at Leicester, I'm looking at Martin at Southampton, I'm looking at Shea Charles, who was on my bloody list for Leeds to sign, going to Southampton, a really top under-18s, ex-Man City now captain. And Yeah, a couple of the signings that Martin's made. Obviously, Ryan Manning went there yesterday. A little bit of a punch at Leeds fans who were saying the Ryan Manning deal was done. Southampton did a little bit of a quote tweet and had Ryan Manning looking at the screen like that, which I thought was quite amusing. Good bit of banter there. But it was almost a little bit like, I didn't quite like it. I was a little bit like, are we getting left behind here, you know? And listen, Leicester, when you look at the moves they've made, obviously Connor Cody, Harry Winks, you presume him, Callum Doyle, a Man City centre-back, is going to be heading there. Apparently there's rumours of James McAtee as well going to Leicester, and they're going to be linked with more and more Manchester City under 21s, obviously with Maresca being heavily linked there. Don't be surprised to see Carlos Borges, another one on my list at the start of the season, heading there as well. A massive talent in the City ranks, who scored about 41 goals in one season against the Manchester United academy side. So he's in high demand. So it's going to be fascinating to see how these things work themselves out. Obviously, Leicester have brought in, will probably bring in a mass amount of money. They sold Maddison for 40+ million. Sold Harvey Barnes, or are selling Harvey Barnes for 35+ million. So yeah, Southampton are not probably getting that sort of valuation outgoing wise from their squad, but Liverpool and Arsenal are still massively linked to Romeo Lavia, who they've put a 50 million price tag on. No Leeds player at the minute is going for that value. So I think at this minute it feels like, especially with other teams in the Championship having already playing fixtures, pre-season fixtures, I think I'm just getting a little bit worried that Leeds are getting left behind a little bit. And I said this right at the start of the window. I said it's going to take time. This is going to take time. And this is why I think Leeds are going to have a slow start, and it's going to take a while for them to kick into gear. I don't think we're going to have a fixed and settled squad whatsoever for Cardiff. And, with 25 days left, you are looking at a mass turnaround for Leeds to be able to get the players in to settle, understand Daniel Farke's system, unless they are previous players that have worked with him at Gladbach or Norwich who can sort of seamlessly fit in and thrive, and really thrive in this Leeds United side. This is our first friendly now. We've obviously got Hearts and Monaco coming up. Are there going to be players in before that? Who knows? There's still nothing really on the EFL takeover. Klaxon, which is still very, very quiet. So it's not that I'm worrying. I'm just wondering how long this is going to go on for, because it seems like lots of players are leaving Leeds United. It looks like Junior Firpo is going to be going very, very soon as well. Rocker's left, Christensen's left, Cox left. Obviously today we know Rodrigo's left. Bamford apparently is wanting to leave. So there are lots of rumours about players leaving and players, vacating Leeds United, but there doesn't seem to be anything on players coming in. We've heard the rumours about Nat Phillips. We've heard the rumours about other Leeds United targets. But overall, there's nothing concrete. And there seems to be a lot of strange Leeds United accounts at this moment in time saying exclusive this and breaking that. And they have absolutely no idea what's going on. Hence why a lot of them are getting it wrong and are just getting absolutely berated by Leeds fans, because I don't really see the point in them doing that, because they... if you put a false rumour out there just hoping it's going to come true, i.e. Ryan Manning will sign for Leeds United, what's the point? Because you don't know anything about that. It's very, very odd. But the likely domino to fall there would be Charlie Taylor coming to Leeds United. It's an obvious move. And if Leeds don't get that done, I'd be a little bit worried, because I know for a fact there's been a few discussions there. And it would be a little bit weird if that domino didn't fall. The price would be fine. Leeds will be getting an experienced player there. And obviously with Ryan Manning leaving now, is Charlie Taylor going to be that next signing? I mean, surely he will be. But if they don't get that done, and maybe a Taylor goes to another club, because he is in, there are clubs looking at him at this moment in time, it'd be a little bit worrying. I mean, now, and I mentioned it on another video that we're now competing with Fulham for Gustavo Hamer. Now, the thing is, Leeds declared their interest in Gustavo Hamer very, very early. And we know that, from several outlets. Fulham have now only recently declared their interest in Gustavo Hamer. Now, for me, you get that deal done quickly, and then, Fulham can't really do anything about it unless Hamer's agent is turning around and saying, right, well, we're going to wait on until we get the best deal possible, which is also a very logical way of looking at it. But Leeds could have had that deal wrapped up, when Daniel Farke came in. And from what we understand as well, he's got a list of targets. So, yeah, interesting one there. And apparently Leeds United have been linked as well with the Brentford sporting director, which is fascinating in itself because, Lee Dykes has been at the forefront of a hell of a lot of good things at Brentford. From what I understand, he's been given a new contract recently, and he has turned down Man United, Tottenham, and I believe approaches from West Ham as well, which this is almost getting laughed out of the room by Brentford fans. So, yeah, it looks like Leeds may be looking at alternatives to Stuart Webber, which is interesting. I mean, someone like Dykes coming in would be unbelievable in terms of the projection of Leeds United, and it's good that we're targeting directors like this, but it feels at the minute, and I'll be honest and I'll conclude on this, that Leeds are getting left behind, and we are behind a lot of clubs at the minute. And I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm not going to, shower it up and cloud up what's going on. We're looking at a sporting director. We're in talks with him apparently, which is great. But there are no players coming through the door. There is no rumours, solid rumours. And it's 25 days left. The end of this week, start of next week, it's going to be 20 days left. Then it's going to be, that 20 days left it's less than 3 weeks, just over 2 weeks, and can you really, I was expecting players to be through the door this week, but still nothing. So I am worried. Let me know what you think in the comments. I mean, I've said I'm not worried, but really I am. I'm just trying to cover tit on here, really. I am a little bit worried. I just see other clubs moving, other clubs having friendlies prior us, other clubs getting the cards in order, and Leeds lagging. And I think that's going to affect us this season, especially at the start. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you guys a little bit worried as to what is going on with Leeds United at the minute? I'd be fascinated to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.